I'm going to do a video on how I finish my products, things I make, and I'm also going to do a little bit of a show and tell. Some recent work that I've been Today I'm going to do a show and tell as to how I finish my pieces, and then I'm going to do I'm going to show off some of the pieces that I have made recently. So here is a little bowl. I'm calling it the fishing boat. It's made out of Manitoba maple or box elder, and it has some interesting spalting going on, and it has some beautiful color. I'm always amazed at the reds and the pinks, and on this piece the yellow that's coming out. Really, I just enchanted by it. Little pin, a little knot fell out as I was carving it. But I started off with an adze that I've been sharpening and playing with. A gift from Beavercraft Lumber 6 months ago, and I axed the back basically from a blank, a little smaller than this, 12 inches long, 3 inches wide, and 2 inches thick, sort of. And yeah, refined the surface with a hook knife, compound curve hook knife, and an open curve, as well as on the back. And yeah, sits nicely, and it's mostly decorative, but it'll hold a few things. And when it's totally dry, I'll fine-tune the bottom. But for all of the pieces that I make, I use 100% pure tung oil, and it's food safe. I got this one from Lee Valley. I normally get mine from Rusty Designs Inc. out of Mississauga, Ontario, and they were out. So, but yeah, I just use pure tung oil, either with a rag, or I will dip my spoons in it, let them soak for a little bit, a couple of, well, not a minute, like 20 seconds, and then I will pull them out, and the oil really helps the color pop. But then I'll pull the spoons out of the oil and rub it in by hand, and then I will set them aside to dry for a couple of days, and then they're ready to use. The tung oil is a polymerizing oil, so it's a drying oil, and 3 days for a thin coat to solidify, but then it takes another couple of weeks for it to fully harden and fully cure. But I never put that much on. It's always thin coats, so it dries relatively quickly, and it's usable after a couple of days, but it will remain durable and get harder. So there's a thin coat of oil on my little carved boat, chocolate boat, fishing boat, little pebbles, anything you need to display in a beautiful hand-carved bowl. And with that, I will do a bit of a show. Oh, I also have this to finish. Silly little spreader, chunk of walnut I found in a bag, and yeah, so for this as well, just a little bit of walnut. I'd like to use walnut oil on it, but I'm out and it's kind of expensive, so. But generous coat of tung oil. Let it soak in. And set this aside for a minute so it can soak in. But then, yeah, all I do is set them up on little chunks of wood. Let them start to dry. By tomorrow, 24 hours, they will be hard enough to handle and move around, move about, but don't want to be too hard on it because you'll mar the finish. But if you are gentle with it, you can move it around and take pictures or whatever. So, but that out of the way, and my little show and tell. This is a spalted birch eating spoon. Super crank. Watched a couple of videos from by Sean Hearn, Spoon Crank, and he inspired me to get a little cranky. So that's spalted birch, and this is the pith popped out of the blank and left a cute little divot, so I left that in, and a natural feature of the wood shining through, but it's got some beautiful grain and some spalting. That's one piece, and then there's this piece, which is a spalted birch eating spoon, or I'm sorry, serving spoon. Have to have a pretty big mouth for this one. It's about 2.5 inches across. But the spalting on this is gorgeous. And it just comes through and through. The handle had some wonky grain in it because of a little knot there. So I kind of carved around the knot, but I followed the grain, and it ended up creating some interesting curves on the back. So it's got some real character, and there's a little sweep, little swirl, I guess, no, an S swirl into the bottom of the bowl. But it all follows the way the grain was running and some of the spalting was running. But that's, oops, that is my spalted birch cooking spoon, serving spoon. This is another piece of spalted birch. I have quite a lot of it right now, so I'm having fun working my way through it. But this had this crazy deformation. I don't know, it was a knot or something, but carved around it and left it in the handle. Big long keel, very shallow, so you could eat with it, but it's more of a serving spoon, little tiny serving spoon, sugar spoon, honey spoon, whatever. But yeah, usable, fun. Little spreader, butter knife, jam knife. Again, spalted birch, but just playing with form, playing with color. You know, little tiny thing. I like this one. This is my rattlesnake honey dipper, and there's the dipping end. Dip, dip, dip. But then at the front, as you see coming down, you might be able to see his eyes, his mouth. Try to find the camera. Oh, it doesn't like that. But, oh, there's a good shot. I think it's cute. a little snaky. But a little honey dipper. And my first ever spoon. No, fork. And I thought I'd be silly and go with 5 tines instead of 4. But I watched one of the latest videos by Zed Outdoors. And I thought, well, I'll give that a try. So, spalted birch. Little on some of the tines. That one tine's a little small or a little thin. But who knows? Could be used for serving something. But maybe a hair comb. Who knows? But that's it. That's my little show and tell. Hope everyone's doing well. Keep on carving. Cheers.